News from the World Health Organization in Geneva. The WHO now says COVID-19 is no longer qualifying as a global emergency. The announcement comes more than 3 years after the organization declared the virus an international crisis that subsequently killed at least 7 million people. The WHO says the virus has been on a downward trend for more than a year.
Yesterday, the emergency committee met for the 15th time and recommended to me that I declare an end to the public health emergency of international concern. I have accepted that advice. It's therefore with great hope that I declare COVID-19 over as a global health emergency.
Reporter Alex Cadier is in Brussels with more on what's behind the WHO's decision to end its global emergency declaration.
Well, the WHO's Emergency COVID-19 Committee advised the Director General that he could declare an end to the public health emergency of global concern linked to the COVID-19 virus. The WHO saying it is not a decision that was taken lightly. They've been mulling this for months. In fact, 2 members of that committee were a little reticent to make that decision, but following discussions, delayed announcement, long discussions to get to that point, they recommended that the DG make that call. Now, it's been months in the making to have this decision. To give you an idea of scale, in the last week of April, we had globally 3,568 COVID-19 related deaths. At the peak of the pandemic, that number globally was 100,000 deaths in January of 2021, just in the space of a week. Dr. Tedros, the Director General, also saying this was a moment for reflection, reflecting on how the poorest in our world were most affected by this pandemic, saying it laid bare the searing inequalities in our world, also saying that it exacerbated political fault lines within and between nations and eroded trust because of mis and disinformation. It isn't just a moment of reflection, though, it's also a moment to celebrate those medical professionals who pulled through and who did the longest hours imaginable to get people back up to health, and celebrating those vaccine scientists that pushed out a vaccine faster than ever before, celebrating solidarity amongst people and recognizing the personal sacrifices everyone made around the world to get through this pandemic. So reflecting on what we could have done better, reflecting on what we should do better, and also celebrating those medical professionals that got us through it. Alex Cadier for CBC News, Brussels.